Yesterday, Opus 4.5 wrote 2,274 lines of game architecture for us. And GPT 5.2 actually started building it inside of Cursor. So when we were cooking with that, it pretty much wrote out this amazing plan. And as you can see, it was so big that we actually had to chunk out the first phase of the build out. And this is what we gave to Cursor using GPT 5.2 to go ahead and start the automation. And for those who don't know, we're also using ChatGPT 5.2 in pro mode. I handed this task off because it can take sometimes up to an hour, and it reviewed and thought through for the extended thinking about 12 minutes and 37 seconds. And this is where it did additional research on our entire plan and then see if it can actually give us a better feedback on what our whole idea is and what we can actually do for our entire app. So this whole spec review there was really interesting because it came back with some kickoff. They call it actually Kickoff Chaos. So the goal of this whole thing, because we have 12 days until Christmas, right? Like it's December 12th today, plus 12 will get us to the 24th. By Christmas Day, I want to see if I can kick off a live stream in which you, as the participants, can actually on the stream just chat with me live. And so what would be wild is if we chat live together, that's going to allow us to basically you can control the characters in the game. So like this little soccer game would be streamed live and we can all just be kind of cooking with each other, which would be absolutely bonkers if you know what I mean. So that's going to be the Kickoff Chaos. This is what we got going on. There's a whole bunch of things. And the phase one of the plan, as we're going to see here, is basically the data flow. And so this data flow has already started to build. We're going to be building this a little bit in Rust. I have never coded in a day of my life of Rust. So we're going to sort of learn this live. I don't know. I used to be an engineer at Apple. I never really touched Rust too much. And this is going to be really fun to learn. I think it's going to be an interesting thing of how we can use AI to be like co-pilots, but we're going to be taking a look at Opus 4.5, GPT 5.2. We're going to be looking at Cursor. We're going to be looking at all these different agents to code together. And the goal is to make this multiplayer game possible. So I'm excited for y'all to lock in. Let's go ahead and kind of take a look here. So this is the first thing that it basically did yesterday for those who are just kind of tuning in and kind of wondering what's going on. And so we got this happening right here. And let's see if I can kind of make sure that everything's going okay with all of the chats and everything. Because if you're in the chat, let me know what you are here. I think I do see a chat coming in. Cursor is the new visual UI. Okay, cool. So yeah, I am getting some folks in the chat. Daniel, thank you so much for stopping in. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everything was kicking off correctly because I know things were kind of happening super fast. Wait, did you just start? Yes, I literally just started the game yesterday. And so we handed the task off to Cursor and it basically went to town. So before the live stream ended, because I had to go to a dinner, what ended up happening is that it continued to just build out while I was away. So that was really cool. It created the entire directories for us. So I handed off this big old plan and you can see it just created everything here. So kicked off all the Rust stuff. And so the way that it's kind of laid out according to our plan phase here is that we have this actual app's called the Kickoff Chaos here. And then we have the app structure here. So this is like the Next.js portions. And then we also have like the server component. So the server component is going to be the one that's using the Rust backend. And so the server side is going to be, this is the one where it has all the reducers and all the match management. Cursor just went to town, just kind of all behind the scenes, and it only used 184,000 tokens to do the whole execution. So it just literally kept going and wrote all of this code for us, the SpacetimeDB stuff, the actions, the spacetime provider, the layout, and I'm just kind of reviewing this right now. It even wrote, I guess, some landing page stuff here, a QR code, game state. All of this was a part of our phase one plan. And so it says phase one has now been implemented, which is kind of wild already, right? So now we have basically Next.js Tailwind app with the homepage. We can create a match. We can join the game. You can also use the lobby to QR code. So this is all from yesterday. We kicked off that massive plan and said, okay, go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with phase one in Cursor and then go ahead and going. If you want to catch the stream for what happened yesterday, I have the timestamps for the stuff in the description below, so you can check that out. SpacetimeDB Rust thing was also created here. So we have the public tables, we have the reducers, which is going to go ahead and create the match and then join the match as well. And then we have a client connection kickoff. So this is client reduce kickoff here with the spacetime, the actions, and the index here. So this is where we have the reducer calls, and then we can run this locally right now. So if we go into here, we should basically be able to copy environment variables and run them locally. Once we start the database, publish the module to here, and then all we do is just run it on the web, and that's it. technically I already have like a scaffolding for the app already just based off those requirements. It shipped a lot of code. I just really can't believe it. So this is amazing. Low-key, I think we're going to get this game in like a couple days. Like not even a couple days. We're probably already going to get something working today on stream, but this is also going to involve using Nano Banana, by the way. So I'm going to try to use Nano Banana to generate some of the sprites for this, because we're going to generate what I think is like NES World Cup soccer type of thing. So this is kind of what I was thinking here as far as like the game and like what it will look like. So NES World Cup soccer or something like that. This is what I was inspired by. I mean, as a childhood, like watching and playing this game was just like kind of changed my life. And I grew up in California in US, but I have a lot of friends who play soccer. And like I only played soccer for a small period of time. But like for whatever reason, this really changed my whole like, I don't know, the NES has like a special place in my heart. And like this whole 3D view of the game and being able to kind of relive this is kind of cool. But I want to take this to the modern era. I feel like we're in an age right now where these models can let us do anything. I've never coded in Rust, but we're going to have a Rust backend with this SpacetimeDB. And that SpacetimeDB, what's really interesting, is actually made for gaming. So somebody in the chat popped in yesterday and said, that's literally like the Convex, but for gaming. And it's like so new. I've never really heard of it. I'm not a gamer anyways. I don't write gaming code, but I thought, hey, if we got Opus by our side, if we have ChatGPT 5.2, we have 5.2 Pro, and if we got MCPs, I think we're good. Like we can look up anything. We should be able to be unstoppable, right? So this is kind of the challenge. And this is, I want to kind of update and make it a little bit more modern. Like these are kind of cute for what it was. And I just appreciate the simplicity. But I think my favorite part is the fact that you can crash out super hard. So you can tackle another character, you can like sprint and do things and get power-ups. And I think that's what makes gaming really fun. And then what's going to be even more fun by Christmas Day is the fact that all of us can be playing this. And then it's going to be running on a live stream 24/7. So for 24 hours, I'm going to run that game live. And you can actually scan a QR code at any time and join the game. If it's full, you'll get in a queue. And then if there's going to be one bot, which is going to be the chat, and everyone in chat will be spamming different like moves. So if the bot character actually gets the ball, y'all can be spamming moves and then moving the character. And so that means like, what's cool about this game, it's so random that other people, and what I like about it is you can bump into the character as well. And so that'd be kind of our cool like Christmas Day game. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to kind of get through here. So that'll be that there. And so I think that's kind of where we ended up here. We have shipped a lot of code. I can't believe how fast we've been able to move really quickly. So here is the game. And I think we got that there. Let me, look, this is just a crazy amount of code that we've generated. Cursor is crazy, man. That's so insane. And obviously we have some of these type issues here, and we're going to definitely try to fix those. So the notes, the next build is passing. I did not modify the plan. Okay, cool. So that's that there. So this is phase one. If you're wondering about the plan and what this looks like. So because we have a 2000 line plan, you can't just feed that all into Cursor. If you do that, you're going to get in trouble because it's just too much context to fill in. So of that 2000 lines, I go into Cursor, I go into plan mode, and I reference that actual massive 2000 line plan. It reads everything. And because we talked about phase one, it has that in there. And then you can kind of go ahead and grab those things. By the way, if you haven't tuned in, I have a skills file that I created live yesterday on stream. So the skills file will actually create this specific thing. So out here in the actual, once this is the entire chat that we actually use to create the whole plan. And so this is where I yapped everything in. I told it about our insights. I told it to use Exa, and it just went to town and asked me a bunch of questions back and forth. And this is the skills file, as you see on the right-hand side, that it created for us. And this is something that you can put into your Claude skills, or if you have Droid, you can pull in the skills file, and you can reference this at any time and say, hey, build me a plan. And depending on the size and the scope, it will automatically generate a bigger or smaller PRD for you. And so for those who have joined the Discord, you do have access to this skills file, and that'll be included. I actually have a skills section in the Discord, and it's already published there live because I told you yesterday I would be doing this. But we have a pretty massive feature here that we're going to be doing. So if you're trying to figure out what we're actually going to be building, this is the tech stack. SpacetimeDB, Next.js, Phaser 3, We got the data models. We got the game mechanics of the stuff moving. We got SpacetimeDB reducers. We got a client-side architecture for the real-time subscriptions. We got the phaser integration, which is the game scenes, the sprite management. That's where we're going to use Nano Banana and stuff, and the camera following the ball. We're also going to have the YouTube chatbot, which is going to do the voter aggregation, and then the QR code, spectator mode, all this stuff. AI says we'll do it in 6 weeks. I don't have time for that. We got 12 dates to Christmas. We got to lock this in before that. So we're going to compress time here, and this is going to be so fire. So if y'all are rolling with me, I want to make sure the chat is active and live right now. So drop AGI in the chat if y'all know what it means. Ray Fernando's in new levels. Bro, I'm going to slay you, bro. This is so good. Yeah. Levels RF, bro. Yo, can we add 2026 World Cup host clients? Yo, that'd be really interesting. So you have Los Angeles, San Francisco Bay. Actually, that'd be really, really cool to host them. Yeah, making some coffee. Oh, who's just waking up? Yeah, let's go, Ray. 12 days till Christmas? I know, right? Have you done your Christmas shopping yet? I don't think people have done that yet. I know I have a new cursor update. I got to update mine again. Yeah. So GPT 5.2. Oh, so Git Max, are you rolling down? A lot of people are having mixed reviews on the model. And so we'll see what's up. Yeah, I like the new cursor visual UI. It's really, really cool. I don't got time for that. That's what I'm saying. I heard this ChatGPT also has the skills folder, so that'll be really interesting to see how they actually do that. So everyone's commenting AGI. We got AGI in the chat. Let's go. AGI in the chat. Because this is the time that we're living. What a time to be alive. All right, let's get back to shipping some code. And I don't know about you, but I'm about to YOLO check this in because this is massive. Huge amount of changes. But basically, this is the scaffolding to start our whole plan. And we shipped all these new pieces of code because we just started from scratch. So I'm gonna, yesterday I also was working on a canoe club app, and that also finished at the same time with GPT 5.2. So that's here. I pretty much just one shot at the whole thing based off that plan, the scoped plan. So I'm gonna minimize that, and we'll follow up with that like a little bit later. I'm so like into this game right now, I really can't help myself. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna install now. So this is new UI, by the way. Up here it says built. So it looks like cursor, once it finishes the whole entire plan and all the check marks are made here, to click check, it has the little built check marks. So that's really, really cool. Before we do anything, I'm gonna just check the code in for now, just as a YOLO. Okay, so we have the example here. So this is our example thing we're gonna kick off, and then spacetime module. Okay, cool. And I need to look into SpacetimeDB and figure out how to set that up. So we're going to learn a whole bunch of, 935 files. I'm just going to, first commit's going to be YOLO. Now I'm curious to see what this little generate commit message will say, because it's probably going to be a lot smarter than what I would type in. So I don't want to start training the AI and saying I just do these. Come on, I think it failed. Yeah, YOLO initial setup. Initial plan 1. Ready. Okay. Commit. And I guess I'll publish the branch, huh? So I'll make it a private repository for now, and then I'll make it public later. Because I don't know what I'm going to check in. Literally, it's just going to be a madhouse. All right, cool. So OpenAI Codex. Oh, you're kidding me. For real? Bro. Who? OpenAI. Open ChatGPT. Where do I find these skills files? More? Let's see. I'm going to do thinking. Can you look up and see if OpenAI Codex works with skills now? I'm trying to find references to this. And then I also want to test the ChatGPT like instant one, because like instant. I don't know if instant has web access. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. There is a file in the official GitHub repo about skills, basically describing how to create skills. Epic. So the community discussions, third-party write-ups. There's no official core product documentation, so they're community tutorials, experimental features. Oh, wow. So native official skills system in Codex is not yet supported. No formal docs announcing it. But the experimental community skills via Skill MD. So like it looks like someone dropped it in there, like you're saying. And so they're basically probably trying to get some feedback. I think that's really sly. Skills request features, skill agents. Okay, that's interesting. So if you're trying to build skills for Codex, here's what the future might be headed. So, wow, this is really, really good. That's cool. Ask for zip for OpenAI. Yeah, I heard about that, bro. The future is here. Yeah, that's so crazy. Where can I find the Kiro soccer game? I don't know if they actually published the game, but I saw it on YouTube. Kiro soccer YouTube. Oh man, that's so bad. It's such a bad search term. Okay, so if you look up, I think GPT 5.2 Kiro, GPT 5.2 Kiro, they did a demo on YouTube. I tried. I don't know if the music and stuff is copyrighted, so I don't want to play the video, but like you'll be able to search it up if you look up, you know, the Kiro thing, and then you'll see the guy who's the DevRel from Kiro or something like that made a game because they got early access to GPT 5.2. So he made a really basic soccer game with these little, the people are just little circles and they're moving around with the ball. And so like that's what really inspired me. I was like, oh, that's a really cool game actually. In fact, let's go ahead and build a live and then actually learn how to build a real backend with all the real stuff and like a fully fledged out plan. Because you know me, I like to build like real SaaS apps and other things and kind of want to push these models to the limits to see like, does it really fall apart after day 2, right? And I think that's where the vibes tend to shift. The first impressions are really fun, like Opus 4.5, but then you don't really know, does it continue through the rest of your workflows? And then where can we actually use the model and where can we leverage the intelligence in these different places? And that's kind of what I want to do here live is just us kind of playing around with this and carrying us forward. So I need to get moving on all this stuff. Okay, so Codex skills are here. And then that's, okay, yep, Codex has skills, at least the CLI. So as of December 2025, yeah, so I like how confident this, like the thinking one is. So if you do, so the CLI supports feature flags. So if you do -- enable feature, and then the features.name equals true is what the mapping will be. So if you do skills dot, and this Simon Willison weblog is actually the one that kind of calls this out. So Anthropic's new skills, ChatGPT. So I tried that myself and here's the UI. Okay, so he doesn't call out the specific feature to render, right? He just pulled it back out. Okay. So in order to run it, you git clone the plugin. Okay, so enable skills. So you just do codex -- enable skills, and then you pass in the model name. And then you can do list skills, and then it's going to tell you about the skills. So this looks in the codex skills file. And so he has a plugin that he runs and a skill MD file. So this is, so what I guess my skill MD file would be the one that describes, you know, my architecting skill, which would be really cool. Oh, that's really cool. And then, yeah, this is pretty, okay, cool. So skills are a keeper. I wrote about this. Yeah, Claude skills are awesome. Skills are the way to go. And you'll see me using them and starting to make them live. And I'm just going to keep putting them in the Discord as I making them as I go. And anything that I do kind of twice, I'll try to, I'm probably also going to create a skill to create sprites for games because I think that's going to be super valuable too. So yeah, stay tuned in. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I'm going to get back to that later. Okay, cool. So that's really cool. Thank you for that. I think Daniel Green, you're so good for that. Skills are the way. Yes, exactly. Gemini, Claude better. Claude for sure is really good, but I think you got to use everything, right? So we're gonna play around with this. We're also gonna play around with Gemini 3 too. Get some Gemini 3 in the mix later on. So we'll see that. I'm working on AI builder, and by building it with AI, it's crazy. Yeah, Simon knows the way. Dude, hey, Simon's even coming up in ChatGPT responses. That's how you know what's up, bro. Oh, he's got that stuff figured out. Okay, so SpacetimeDB is interesting. So SpacetimeDB, if you haven't heard about this, I heard about this yesterday in chat. Easiest way to build a multiplayer app. So we're going to talk about vibe coding. Like this is it. This is all we got to do. This is going to be interesting. So yeah, we'll see. I think we can start for free. Let me go back and let me also minimize this one because I'm not doing this app right now. Let me kind of clear out some of these windows. So if you haven't figured out, I've started to use Ghosty, Ghostty, and they have this cool thing called shaders. And you can see my little thing going crazy here, and my little cursor. You know, like it does these cool animations. And so like, and then as I go faster, like it does really cool stuff. But the shaders are an additional bonus to this. And you can do cool layouts like this, like they do in these little tabs and stuff. And it's supposed to be really like, it's technically a better terminal. I was put onto it by Eric Provencher. And that's kind of where we got that thing here. So we're going to go to, I think, what did I name my repo? I totally forgot what I named this. It's called, Oh, kickoff. Okay, so I need to kickoff. CD kickoff. Okay, cool. All right, so we have the kickoff chaos and kickoff architecture. That's right. Okay, cool. So we got a lot of stuff going on here. And then now that I have stuff checked in, I'm going to install the update. So let's just check real quick. I got cursor 2.2.17. Let's go ahead. We should probably have 2.2.18. These guys ship all the time. And so I have I think it's early access version. So if you pay for Cursor Ultra, you now get early access to all the extra features that come in. So like debug mode landed and a bunch of other things landed early, and you get to kind of play around with them first, which is kind of a really fun thing. So that's kind of Cursor Ultra in a nutshell. So now we're at 2.2.20. We went from 2.2.17 to 20. Like that's how, like in the last 24 hours since I've actually opened the app, they've shipped like 3 updates. These guys are shipping nonstop. Man, that's crazy. I'm going to go back from, I think this is the agent view. And I think for this Mokohui app, I'm going to just put this one on the side or close the window for now, because I think I'm going to get back to this. Okay. So in this view here, I think command, I'm going to open a new project file, open recent, and then open the kickoff app here. Okay, here we are. So one thing that's a little, switch to agent IDE. Hold on. Did they mess with my whole UI now? Wait, I can't, window, agent view, editor, open, close editor, editor layout, I think, open, close editor. No, I'm so lost right now. What happened to my editor view? Is it Command Shift E, I think? No. Okay, Command E. Oh, so change layout. Sidebar. Okay, so they changed the layouts a little bit. So if I wanted the panels down here, so I'm going to change from custom layout to just default left layout. Wait, hold on. I'm so confused. Sorry, bear with me because this is so weird. Right, left. Okay, but I don't want this agent view. I want the I want the other view. So if I switch to agent side, Command E, no. Oh, whoa, it's in the top bar now. Yeah, I'm in the top bar here, but then I want the previous view where I want to switch back to the editor view. So if I want to switch back to editor view, I have to like switch to the agent side. Hold on. Sidebar? But I want this on the left side, agent sidebar position. Oh no, this is so weird. Wow, I don't like this layout. Oh, I don't like it a lot. Oh no. Okay, so if I do Command E, am I cooked, fam? Okay, so this is probably the weirdest thing ever. Okay, so I have to hit Command E to go back, and there's no visual reference because I just remember the hotkey command. So Command E will go to the editor view. And so if I go to editor view, let's see, editor layout. Okay, so Command E will put me into this editor view, and this is kind of like the traditional view that you see typically with VS Code. And then to go to, like, this is where you can bring up the pane and stuff. And then if you want to switch to agent view, so you hit Command E. But once you switch to agent view, they don't really allow you to switch back to the editor view, because then the editor view is now sort of like this, I think. Switch to the agent side. So maybe that's what it is, minimize chat size. But do you see how confusing it is? 1, 2, 3, 4 square boxes up here. And like, oh, this is kind of a pain. Okay. I just want to make sure I have the right views I have set up. This is becoming really overly complicated, but it's okay. I just want to make sure we get these laid out. Okay, so I'm going to right click this tab and say close others. Okay, I want to catch up. Thank you guys for kicking with me here. So, all right, so we're back here now. Phase 1, Foundation Bootstrap is set up. Let's go ahead and just go through the README just to make sure that we got everything set up and kind of kick off our game here. So yeah, so the custom layout has a new switch to old layout. UI war, yeah. Sorry, just joined. What terminal is that? That's Ghosty, Ghostty. And if you want to check that out, Ghostty. Yeah, Ghosty terminal. Like, I highly recommend it. Came highly recommended from Eric Provencher, which I really trust a lot, and that's what's up. So that's where we're going with this. All right, let's go to the game view. So now I think we have to do a couple different steps in our README. So Command P readme, and then in the readme file, well, I guess what I need to do from our agent standpoint. Oh, agent sidebar. No. Okay. So I want the primary. Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh, how do I get back the, oh no. Okay. Command E. Oh, this is so confusing. Okay. My bad. In our previous chat history, first phase is build out the app. So we have this whole thing here. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep all, since we've already shipped all these and checked all of them in. And so I guess when I do that, what ends up happening is it does like a linting on the, when you keep them all. And I think that's what happened here. So we're just going to go ahead and check these lints. Okay, sync the changes. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and kind of catch up here on the README and figure out what we need to do. So for the README now, if you right click and hit preview, it's Command Shift V. And so this will actually kick off this little preview view here. And that's where we're at right now. So, all right, so now we're gonna basically kick it off. So we're gonna go to cp-example.env local. So this is what we're gonna go ahead and do. So cp.env example. Wait, oh, it's env dot example. Wait, oh, I have to go into the right folder. So I have to go into Kickoff Chaos. Kickoff. Okay, ls. Yes, this looks right. Where is the env? I don't see env example. That's interesting. I think I see it in the root view. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. Command K. cp-env.example to .env.local, right? So now we have our local file, and then we do spacetime start. So everything should be installed already, huh? Spacetime start. No command found. Okay, it's in a separate terminal. So how do I? Okay, so I think I did this. SpacetimeDB Rust. We installed everything. Client connectors and reducer calls. How to run locally in Kickoff Chaos. Copy the env. Start this. Publish the plus publish. No, see Kickoff README. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. So prerequisites. Spacetime. Oh, I need to install the Spacetime CLI. SpacetimeDB CLI. So let's go ahead and learn how to do that. Okay, so if we go to Spacetime CLI, I think it's probably in the getting started. Spacetime start. Okay. Install the CLI, okay. Install for Mac OS. We just have to copy this, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Cool. Would you like to continue? Let me just figure out this configuration. This is my directories. That looks about right. Okay, cool. All right, we're downloading and installing it. This is great. Cool. So the install process is complete. Check out our quick start guide to get started. Okay, I think that's where we're at right now. So now if we do okay. Let me just open a new window. Okay, Spacetime. Okay, start. Oh, cool. Whoa, what is this? I think our server just started. Whoa, this is kind of cool, actually. This is awesome. Wow, this is fancy. Okay. I feel like a hacker now. Okay, so we have, okay. Spacetime, we can set these parameters that would enable traces that are disabled statically. Okay. Oh, this is cool. And now everything's kind of should be running. Okay, so let's go back to cursor and see what else we're doing here. So once we do this, and then we have to also run the web app. So in here, let's go back to the preview. And so first, let me take off this to the side, and let me also, I think this should give everything we need to do, right? Yes, I think it does. Okay, so I'm gonna move these real quick, and I'm gonna have the Ghosty terminal as well available up here. So Ghosty, I'm gonna put you over here for now, and then we're gonna try to see what other stuff we need to do. So I think it's Command D. Yeah, Command D, I can have two things in parallel. So we have Spacetime start, and then now publish the module in a separate terminal from this directory to Spacetime publish project path server Kickoff Chaos. Okay, let's just do that. Whoa, okay. Let's try to do this. I've never done this before. Let's see. You're not logged in. Would you like to log in with your SpacetimeDB account? Sure. I had never created one, so we'll probably have to create one here. So here we are. Okay, so I'm going to authorize them. Sure. Cool. Authorize. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Just making sure. Awesome. Your CLI has been logged in. Feel free to close this window. Cool. So now I've basically technically have created an account. Oh, wow. Oh, I have a referral link. Hey, does anyone want to try this? Let's go ahead and just check out SpacetimeDB. Cool. So for those who are following along at home, go ahead and check out that referral link. I guess you'll get some referral points or something like that. I don't know how this really works, but we're going to figure it out. Sorry about that. My screen just went offline, and I just wanted to make sure everything's okay. I have a hotkey that goes away. Okay, cool. So here we are. Okay, this is interesting. And then I have view account energy. So this tells me how much energy I have left remaining and usage. Okay, so this is really cool. So now that we have it linked up, let's go ahead and try again. Okay. Error, WASM unknown target is not installed. Please install it. Aha. Okay, so this is kind of where we're going to be debugging with cursor. And then I also probably have to finish the walkthrough guide to make sure that we're okay. So publish the module in a separate terminal, because I don't think I've published this project path.server kickoff chaos. So ls, and I have .server. So I don't know why .server has to be kicked off this way. Unknown target. So at path, I think path should just be server. pwd lsla. So I'm going to give this to the terminal and just ask some questions in cursor chat. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to ask cursor chat to help me out. Create a new chat. Running the following command. Uh-oh. You know what? You don't see my cursor right now, or my screen. So let me just kind of switch back real quick. Okay, cool. My bad. Can you see everything now? You should be able to see cursor. Yeah, only see the browser. Okay, yeah, I think I had to switch it back. My bad. That's because when I went, my laptop went to sleep and came back up, we're able to see it. So I think you still see, my bad. It should be up right now. Cool. So you should be able to see this live. Thank you for folks who just commented and stuff. It works. Okay, cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go from agent mode to ask mode. And so I'm running the following commands to run SpacetimeDB from README. And I get, and then output, and instead of asking GPT-2 fast, yeah, I'll ask GPT-2. I'm just going to ask GPT-2 regular, just the brain. How much does this model cost? Is it just GPT-5.2? Yeah, I think it should just be fine. Okay, so I'm running the following command. So SpacetimeDB publish. Running the following command to get SpacetimeDB, and I get the following output. Let's see, what was my output here? The output is this. And then so the reason I put this like in error, like little things like that, is so that it kind of separates and knows a little bit of context. And I'm going to just do ls_output. And so it knows more about these types of tags here. So I'm going to ask this, and I think I don't know why it's talking about .server, because that would be in the previous thing. And I think it's probably thinking my project path is, I'm running it from the wrong area or location. So it's from my Rust toolchain. So Spacetime builds your .server module to WebAssembly and then requires the Rust module to compile. So, okay, so you're right. The kickoff chaos and the readme confirms .server in the Rust module. So I have to install the WebAssembly target to Rust. So I have to do this and then retry. Okay, wow. So what is unknown though? Okay, that's so weird. Let me ask Opus and use hexacode MCP to research. That just seems off. I don't understand. Like, Unknown unknown is not a viable. I don't think that's like a legit project, if you know what I mean. So we'll see what's up. So now it's going to ask some more questions. And this is kind of why it's a good reason to have different models like Opus and stuff to do some research. Okay, so why do I need unknown unknown? What is unknown unknown? Spacetime. What is unknown? A legit thing? Seems weird. Like, I don't understand where unknown unknown. Yes, great question. It's completely legit. The name follows a Rust target triple naming convention, which comes from LLVM GCC world. Okay. The format is architecture, vendor, OS, and environment. So for WASM 32, unknown unknown is 32-bit WebAssembly. And then the vendor is unknown. So there's not a specific vendor like Apple. And then there's no specific operating system as well. So why unknown twice? WebAssembly is designed for to be platform agnostic. It doesn't run on specific OS or come from a specific vendor. It just runs on the sandbox virtual machine like a browser. Okay, so unknown literally means no particular vendor, no particular OS, which is exactly what WebAssembly is. So other examples for comparison. So like I'm used to seeing this. Yeah, x86 Apple Darwin or Arch Apple Darwin. I see. Okay, so the naming looks odd at first, but it's consistent. So for those who don't know, I don't know any Rust. We're kind of learning this on the fly, and it's really cool. I like get to ask questions here into the AI and learn a little bit about how they actually label the names. So when I see these naming conventions, they'll start to kind of really start to sink in. And hopefully you're kind of picking up the same things that we're putting down here. So this is really cool to learn. And so yeah, Arch, vendor, OS, EMV. That's really cool. So today I learned. Okay, so let's go ahead and try. I mean, this feels low-key YOLO, but we'll figure it out. Rust up. Oh, okay. So I probably need to install Rust up. I probably need to install Rust on my Mac. What commands? We'll see. I thought I already installed Rust, but I'm not really sure. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we do curl this Rust up. Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure I get the right versions as well. So Rust, install Rust, I think. Rust lang programming language. Can you give me the source? Can you give me the source URL so I can get the most up-to-date and compatible one for our repo? Because I'm really curious. Versions matter. So the official Rust installation page is here. The page will always have the current recommendation method, which is detect your OS vulnerability. The official script is over here. So for your spacetime specifically, you don't need any special version. The standard stable tool chain. Okay, cool. So, wow. It's really interesting trying to get used to all these tool names and stuff here. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Rust lang. Yep. Okay, cool. Org tools install. Okay, cool. So here we are. This looks like you're running Mac OS. Okay, so it does actually know the recommendations when you actually land on the website. So HTTPS, TLS v1 1.2, and then SSF. Cool. So this looks legit. I'm just going to copy this. And ladies and gentlemen, I have been hacked. No, right? So it's like, that's how stuff happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and install it. Downloading installer. Do you want to continue? Yes, please. Okay, so what are we doing? We're going to install all of this stuff. Welcome to Rust. This will download and install the official compiler for Rust programming language and its package manager cargo. Okay, so Rust stuff metadata toolchains will be installed here. So we're learning a little bit yesterday about crates and how they do their little naming packaging conventions, which are super cute. So I'm just verifying everything that it's installing. And then the default host triple is going to be Arch, Arch 64, Apple Darwin, and then toolchain stable default profile. Okay, cool. So we want to proceed with the standard, just press enter. Okay, cool. This looks great. Cool. We're going to start cargo, Clippy. Damn, this is really cool. I love this thing. Oh yeah, bro. I don't know how to do Rust, but we're going to figure this out. We're going to become like official Rust slop engineers And you've heard it here first. So if you want to slop with me, let's go. We're going to use the AI slop to make more slop, if you know what I mean. That's the official source. Yeah. I thought so too, but I just always double check, especially when installing these things. Because what I was reading yesterday about Rust is like there's also third-party packages that manage memory. That to me is really scary. So like I don't know if something can happen, who makes a change underneath the hood, like who's auditing all these packages. I have lots of questions, right? So I just come from a different world here, and this is really fun to kind of play around with this, and I'm going to keep learning as I go. So you're going to learn along with me. I think this is really cool. But I don't think people make games this way, like actually going through the little details and trying to figure out how the game mechanics work. And then, because we have 12 days to Christmas, right? So we got a little bit of time, but I want to make sure that this is I feel like with AI, we can land things super fast, but getting the right architecture first and asking some of these questions around tripping is super helpful, especially if anyone here who's already experienced game developer, please drop it in the chat. Because yesterday's help with SpacetimeDB, that probably saved us several days of like research and everything, because I had no clue about this whole thing. So I'm really excited to start cooking with this. I feel like this is just going to be making everything go burr. So that'd be cool. So we have this installed here, and now we should be able to kind of run our other things. So we have Rust set up. We should now be able to go back to our Rust target. Okay, so let's try to kick off this. So I don't know if I need to actually add this target still, or if I should just run this because I now have Rust installed. I wonder if it comes with it. So let's just try one more time to see if I still get that package error. So I'm just really curious. So now I'm going to just Command K this, and so I'm just going to go here. Okay, let me just open up another Command K. Whoops. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me go back up. Spacetime start, Command D, Command V. Okay, so we're still, okay, so now it's going to install all the stuff for us, I think, right? So now it's downloading the Rust standard for unknown and install the component. Can't find the create for core. So note the target may not be installed. Okay, so it's still erroring out on the installer. Okay, so I think we still need that WebAssembly target. So cannot compile the bit flags. So the command is build. This is what it tried to run. Release message exited with code 101. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this installed. I don't know. I don't like seeing unknown in my in the names. Maybe it's just me. Okay, so now install this. Great. And so after that completes, then we just do this again. So right, that looks right. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to install it. Okay, here we go. So now what do we have here? So exited with code, cannot compile. Oh, so we have a whole bunch of more failures. Oh man, is this going to be like compile hell? We'll see. Okay, so we can verify the target was installed by running this. Okay, so we'll go here. So it has these two, Apple Darwin and WASM 32 unknown. Okay, all right, so this is where we ended up at. And so I'm going to send it over this error. So what the heck? Why are we seeing these errors? Okay. Why? Here is what I'm seeing now. Errors. Okay, let's see. Planning next moves. Let's go. What's my monthly Exa spend like? I think it's like a couple dollars. It's not even like $1 or $2. Exa code is free for now. So that's what's been going on. I also use Exa for search inside of Claude, the web app. So when I'm on my phone doing research on the go, I have the MCP now hooked up with a URL inside of like actual Claude, the web app, or Claude, the actual phone app. And so now it does like a server Exa research call. So I like that over Claude's own built-in web search because Exa is much more detailed. And that helps me with the prompting like way much. Like it's amazing how much more Opus 4.5 works way better inside of the web as well for that. So that's what it is. All right, so what are we having here? So the project looks fine. The issue typically happens when we have multiple Rust toolchains installed. The target was added to one toolchain, but not to the one being used to the build. Oh, this is great. Okay, so to fix, the fix is easy, is to add the target to all of the installed tool chains. Okay, so then retry. So I don't have this target in this. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see what tool chains I have. I don't know. So, okay. And let's go ahead and see this here. CD here. Okay, I'm trying to walk through. Okay, so, or if you have Rust, just install Rust fresh, try updating everything. So Rust update. So let me just go back and then CD, okay, Kickoff Chaos. So yeah, so I'm gonna go here, Rust update. So everything is downloading, update, yes. Rust add, okay. Okay. So then try, okay. Let's see, take a look at my repo structure. Is this because of a mono repo? I'm just curious because not really sure how it's kicking off this whole thing here. So so now it's just kind of looking at my repo here. So let's just see what we got. So we got a whole bunch of things. So yeah, in server is kind of where all this stuff is kind of located. No, it's not your mono repo issue. Your structure is straightforward. There's only one Rust project, which is in server. So it's not the problem. So what's strange is the error is actually interesting here. So it's up to date. It means that Rust thinks it's installed, but then the compilation fails. It can't find core std. This points to corrupted and incomplete installation. So let's go ahead and remove this, I guess. Dang. Remove. Okay. Okay, so I don't have it installed and then add it again. That's so strange. Okay, so it's installed. And then I just do make sure that oh, okay, that's probably what's going on. So this command will make sure that it's actually loaded, and then Rust update everything again. Okay, so this looks good so far. And then reinstall the target stripped. Okay, let's reinstall. Okay, and then share the output of this. Okay, this looks legit. Legit. Whoops, I'm gonna throw this away. Okay, cool. I made Claude read a bunch of game design books on my end and make agents off the knowledge that makes the level design. See, the thing is, like, I can do that, but I kind of want to learn some of the basics here first, especially when dealing with something like Rust, because like the failures will cascade. So I kind of want to get like this really quick primer. It probably will only take like a day or two with AI to get a sense of like, what is Rust? Where does it install? When it executes in my environment, what's failing? You know, once I kind of get a little mental model of how this works, then I can probably start like delegating some of those like tasks. Because I'm approaching game development completely blind right now, I don't know. Like I have to kind of learn some of the basics here. So I'm pretty sure other people are on the same boat, but that for me is how I approached using AI to help me learn with coding. And so once we kind of figure that out, the other orchestration layers are going to be so much more amazing. So yeah, right now it's kind of slow, but it's going to start speeding up as far as like all the features. Like we'll start shipping stuff and you'll be like way ahead of all your other friends who are just trying to vibe and not really trying to learn. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So your REST looks perfect. So check for complete installation here. Which Rust? Okay, so we're using the brew path. Which cargo? Okay. Brew list grep Rust. Okay. Rust. And then brew uninstall Rust. If you see Rust in the output, it's likely conflicting. You can remove it. Okay. Oh, God. Also verify path. Echo path. That's interesting. What is this? Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. Which Rust? Okay. Here are the outputs. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm just vibing. That's why I'm here to see the developer side of the game. Try running spacetime command now once. Okay, I think it might work, huh? Okay, so that's the problem. You have two Rust installations, so that's what's being used, and then the Rust is cargo Rust where you added the WASM target. Oh, and the user bin is here, and it isn't in your path. So Rust up is invisible in your shell. Oh, okay. So wait, if I open up a new one and it runs the similar commands like which Rust not found, which cargo, which Rust. Oh, interesting. Wait, what? Oh, brew list. Okay. This is interesting. The plot thickens. So yeah, all these things matter. Okay, so I opened up a new window and this is kind of what I'm seeing here. Let's see. Wait, that's so insane. Why does it do this? Oh, wow. Okay. So remove homebrew Rust. So brew uninstall Rust. Then add cargo's Rust to the path. Okay. Hold on. Which Rust? So I opened up a new window. I closed the terminal. Before I reinstall, I closed the terminal and opened a new one and got output. Okay, let's just see what's happening here. This is really weird because resolving these are going to be super important to the environment so that when we're landing our software changes, we know we're going to land the stuff. Okay, so the command is, is Rust C. Okay, which Rust C? Okay, cool. So homebrew Rust is still installed. Okay, so brew uninstall Rust. That's probably why. This is like the versions are so important here, right? So, okay, so now that we've uninstalled Rust, add this to my path. So we're going to do cargo bin path. Okay, so, okay. And then once I do that, you can do this export. So copy, export. Oh, okay. Oh, so this puts the, okay, this will put it into my thing and put it back into my ZSHRC, and this will just reload my actual ZSHRC from the memory. And then, so now I should do rich Rusty, which Rusty, and it'll say, okay, cool, yay. And then which cargo, got it. So that's probably where I should have customized the installation earlier. Derp. Okay, I think I got this all now under control. I think we're Gucci. So CD now should, oh my God. I think we are low key Gucci. Output. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it should work now. So you have Rust installed via homebrew, then install it via the official installer, making you hit 2 installs. You should have only installed it once. Correct. Yeah, this is the note. Like I had it installed via brew a while back, and I totally forgot about it because I thought I did have Rust installed. This is why it's confusing, but I love AI because this is amazing how much time it could save me. Okay, I like how this like talks back to me now. It says, "Fire, you're now fully Gucci." You're fully Gucci now. So both Rusty and Cargo are pointing to this. All right, so now, all right, let me close this window and then let me just open up both of them again. So let me see, Control C, and then let me just open up a new one. And I'm gonna just do, I think the command that we ran here was spacetime start. Okay, cool, I'm gonna close these. I'm gonna make sure I have everything set up, okay. All right, cool, so we're gonna do spacetime start, right? No, hold on. I misspelled space time start. Okay, cool. And then command D, and then in this here, we're going to do this command that they were talking about. This. Okay. So we should be able to build this correctly. Ah, yay. Heck yes. Awesome. We are compiling, friends. This is probably like the hardest part, right? Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you right now, like this is so crazy, but I'm so glad we got this sorted out. So we're almost there. So this trait is never used. This trait is never used. Okay, so the build finished correctly. You're about to publish a non-local server. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yeah, that's what the AI told me. So now I'm on main cloud, whatever this is, breaking the changes, not supported. Host implements caused by this. Okay, so we finished. Looks like we're good now. Okay. CD, it looks like we are good now.
Okay. Let me know.
Oh no, Siri, I'm good. But I see this at the end. Error. And then full log. I'm just gonna give it the whole thing just to. Okay. And then let's see what happens. I'm just really curious. Okay, so theoretically, looking at the README, it says that spacetime. So your server TOML uses this, which is the AB version, but SpacetimeDB main cloud has been updated to AB version 10.4. So I have two options. Use the local SpacetimeDB server, matches your README. Your README says the local to run a local server anyways. This avoids cloud version issues. So start and then publish. Okay. So publish to a local server. And then option do is update the SDK to match the main cloud. I think to use the newer SpacetimeDB version. So I'll just do Spacetime version. Let's see. Spacetime version list. Okay. Interesting. Then update your TOML to match. The cloud is on ABI 10, so you're likely to need something like 1.0, whatever the version is in the CLI. So for local development, option A is probably easier. Just add server to your publish command. Okay. All right. So I think I want to make sure I test on the server, right? During my dev. Per the plan, I think I have a, where is my MD.MD? Let's see. Kickoff architecture. Okay. Because I kind of want to test like everything that's live, but it's really good to know that I have these options, -- server, and then whatever the local host thing is here, because that's also in my .env file. So that's really interesting that it's, using that for the thing. So, okay, so hosting, so you have two paths. Option 1, local SpacetimeDB recommended for dev. So this is kind of what I could do here. So publish, test on the SpacetimeDB cloud. So that'd be Spacetime version. Then update your cargo TOML to file. Okay, so let me just do this. I have this. Okay. So after updating, run cd server cargo update cd spacetime this to kick off chaos. Okay. Start with local development. It's faster for iteration and avoids version sync issues, and then deploy main cloud once you share tests with others. Okay, cool. So your CLI version, but your cargo has this. So the fix for cloud deployment, go to server cargo argo dot toml. Okay, let me go there. And then SpacetimeDB 1.0, spacetime dependencies. Okay. So this will just be 1.0. Yes. Oh, here we go. Log 4. Okay. 1.0. That looks good. Using without the equal will allow cargo to pick a compatible 1.0 version that works with your 1.11 CLI. So CD server cargo update. Okay. CD server cargo update. Okay. Nice. So now it updates all the packages. Hash brown removing. Okay. This is cool. And cd dot dot. Just want to make sure I'm able to publish to the server, so I have everything working here. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. We're cooking. We are so cooking right now. Cooking with the pot, boys. Okay. Oh, wow. I I think it's because we don't really have the code ready to be deployed yet, and we're still on our first phases of our architecture. I think we're good now, right? That's what I'm gonna ask. Oops, hold on. So yeah, this is trying to deploy the code and it doesn't compile because we just literally just finished phase 1 and we haven't finished all of our phases for our plan. So I'm gonna tell it that and just get that reassurance before we move forward. And that's why I probably want to test locally. Okay. Okay. Great. I think we got a lot further now. And this is the current error output I see. And my thinking is that we should probably just continue to test locally until we get to a point where we can compile this and run this on the server. Is that correct? So I want to know what things I need to update in the README so that we can reflect that. And then I'm going to do output console error. And then let's go to the very bottom. Cool. Just want to see what happens. Making changes in production. That's the vibe. That's all I do right now. I just go straight to production, bro. That's how we know if it's working or not. Most likely from old LLM training data did write the code for older version, and now you have a newer version. Yeah, I think that's what when we initially scaffolded plan, it just did whereas on the training data. You're correct. Yeah, you are absolutely right. That's what's up. So right here, you need to fix the compilation errors before you can test anywhere, local or cloud. SpacetimeDB API changed significantly between .10 and, I mean, that's a big change, right? Look at your current server code to understand what needs to be updated. Okay, so you're correct. So let's just kind of make this full screen view. So I'm going to do Command, I think it's Command E, right? Command E? No. Oh no. Command E? Switch to the agent view. Okay. Am I in the agent view or not? I don't know which one. I'm so confused right now. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. So am I in the view now? No. Hold on. Switch the agent to the side. Oh no, I'm so confused. Super confused. Can y'all help? Okay. We need some help right now. I'm going to go back to the default layout left. Okay. Here we go. I think I'm in the agent view. If I go back, I can go back to this. Okay. So I can then eliminate this. This is the agent view that I was looking for. Here we go. That way I can. Okay, I hate this. I hate this latest update. Actually, it's really kind of bad for the UI. Okay, so right now, it's giving me a breakdown. So yes, you're absolutely right. Typical Opusisms. Now I can share the full picture. So here's a summary of what's changes needed for the Rust code. We need to implement these. These are probably going to be in phase 2, which is the table definitions, the reducer definitions, and the reducer context. And so for the README, you should update the prerequisite section to specify the version requirements. So bun, Rust, toolchain, okay, install instructions. So, okay. Let's see, cancel, okay. Publish the module. Yes, focus locally on first, okay. I just say, I'm gonna go back to the agent now and say, given what we know now, please update README as we just finished phase 1. Let's see, phase 1. And we need to make a status doc in documentation. I should have a documentation folder. Where is it? Oh. To keep track of our plans. I thought I had a plans folder, maybe not, huh? So I just have Kickoff Chaos architecture, but that's it. Do I have documentation in here? I don't think so. I just have app, components, hooks, server, and that's it. So I'm gonna create like documentation maybe. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm going to create a folder called documentation and my root folder. I'm going to just do documentation in a documentation folder. our plans are of the status of our plan of our implementation from Kickoff Chaos. Okay, this one here. Okay, so now basically I'm just having the agent kind of get me back in the loop of things because I want to get centered a little bit. I'm a little, we spent a lot of time right now just getting some of the scaffolding up, which is basically the agent has taken the plan from Opus from our live stream yesterday. Overnight has basically wrote all the like first phase of code. That's when I went out to dinner. I'm getting ready to go out to dinner probably in the next 30 minutes. And then now we basically got over like our Rust compilation and installation errors. So once we get past this, a lot of stuff that's already started, we just got to continue with phase 2 of the implementation for our whole plan. And once we get everything kind of running locally with SpacetimeDB, we should then be able to deploy that to the cloud. And that's where we can have like the web app and do some other types of things in testing. So this is a pretty massive architecture for the plan. And we're kind of still in the very early phases of this. And this is part of like, every day I'm going to try to show up here and we're going to try to keep building this game until we make it till Christmas. By Christmas Day, we should be able to get everyone to kind of play around and start playing around with, and using this app with us live. So that'd be really cool. Let's see. Okay, cool. So now what it's doing is going to update the README here. So here's the file. It's doing all the changes to the README now, which is great. And so here's the project structure, Kickoff Chaos. This is great. TypeScript module bindings. This is awesome. Super helpful. Okay, so now what's weird is the cursor agent is creating a new documentation folder based off of even though I told it to put it in here. Okay, that's so confusing. I don't like that. Where did you put that folder, homie? Oh, it did. Okay. Oh, okay. So it ran makedir-p. So makedir-p that says if there's already an existing folder, it's going to not write it there. Because if you do without the p and like you do like a force or override it, any files that are in there will just get overwritten in the shell. So that's what I see it now. Okay. I was just kind of going a little too fast. So, okay. So it put these, I'm going to say keep all. So we have a status doc in our files. Let me just go ahead and review real quick. So this is just some of the changes that came in. I'm going to put this a little bit bigger. And then these are the status docs. So phase 1 is done. Phase 2 is core gameplay. So this is where we're going to move into next. I'm going to go back to switch Command E, I think. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the status. And this is, we're going to open in preview so we can actually read this here. So in our preview in Markdown, so this is our phase 1. This is what we've done here so far. So we've created the Next.js Tailwind project. If you double click this, what ends up going is it opens up the Markdown file. So we're going to go back to the preview file. It's this, I think it's Command-Shift-V, right? No, I guess that doesn't work for me. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to just close others. Okay, we're locking in, folks. So here's the README, and then here's the status. Open preview. Okay. So here we are. We have the server with the tables and reducers. We have the implement basic tables. So we are still working on this, and this works with this here, and needs an update for 1.0. And then we have the SpacetimeDB provider, and then build the UI home screen, and then implement the create, join, match workflow. And then here are the known issues that we have so far. This is off of our first run that we've done so far. And then phase 2 is a core gameplay. So this is what we're going to go ahead and do probably between today and tomorrow. And then phase 3 would be the next one. And then phase 4 is a chatbot. And then we're going to have super kicks after that. And then the AI final polish. So we should be able to get there probably within a week or so. And here's our current tech stack that we're kind of verifying yet. So we're going to figure out the game engine part as well coming up. The chat integration that's going to be coming up. Here's our tooling. And here's our next steps. So here's the architecture plan, this here. So this is super helpful. I like to create these little status documents. So this is where, like, especially if you're working with Cursor or you're working with Claude Code or any type of program that requires you opening up multiple chats, we're going to open up a new chat, throw this status document in there. And so what's great about these LLMs is whenever they have file references like this, they're going to see them and load those in the context window. If you start mentioning, say, can you look up, phase 1 plan? And it will know where to go get that because Cursor will give it to it. And then it'll start to load that in a context window and then read the file if it needs to. And then it'll keep it in the cache. So later on, if you ask for it, it'll already be cached. So that way it'll kind of continue going on from there. So this is really cool. So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff here. I'm going to check in these changes that we have so far because we just built a whole bunch of things. Dang. Let's just go ahead and generate a commit. And that way we'll have them all checked in. So this includes our plan and all the stuff that got built. It builds a lot of stuff. That's crazy. Failed to generate commit. Invalid. What does it say? Invalid argument. Okay. Updated built project and updated docs. Sync the changes. Okay, cool. So we have all these in here. Oh, I wonder if we should, I wonder if I should do a task to update. Please review my project and make an updated, okay, actually this would be a cool task for Composer 1. Okay. Use exa MCP. Okay. Review the code in my project and help me make an updated gitignore file based off the latest from research using exa code MCP. Okay. So what's cool about Composer 1 is it's super fast at reading and kind of doing things. So this is like a type of task that I can really give it. You see how fast it read all the files? Read, not found. Okay. It's probably because it doesn't have access to. So checking the project, and it's going to look for this file, what the build artifacts are. So yeah, Composer 1 can be really good for these types of questions and things. Create a root level .gitignore. I don't think I have a root level gitignore, huh? Dang, I should have done that, huh? I thought I did have one. I don't know. Do I? .gitignore? I do. Okay. Based on the project several. Okay, so there are several maybe gitignores. I think there's probably like a gitignore in here too. I don't think so actually. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it did. Well, it's a good thing I didn't have any keys to check in. You know? Yeah. Accept. Okay. Cool. So the key sections are here. Do we have stuff to check in? I think I've had this file. All EMVs. Okay. Notes. Kept, commented. This allows, okay, review, keep. Okay. I don't know why it commented these out. Okay. So we're good. Yeah, I think we've had stuff in. I don't know why these are green though. Command Shift B, developer reload window. Sure. I'm just going to reload everything. I think it's kind of freaking out. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just had to reload everything and kill the cache. All right, so now we're going to check this out. So, all right, so we got this stuff here and we got a couple questions in chat. I want to make sure I get those too before we move on. And so let me just move on to the next phase. And I got you guys because I know you're asking about some stuff for coding models and all this other stuff here. So, okay, so we're going to move on to phase 2, which is going to be actually making sure we finish phase 1 for the implementation. So what I'm going to do now is basically go into GPT 5.2. I'm going to do extra high right now. I'm going to do high, and I'm going to do high fast. I want to review. I want to like kind of do a little bit of review of our phases of what we've done. So I want you to do a review of phase 1 and take a look at our status doc as well, as we have just finished the first phase of implementation, touched a whole bunch of files, as you can see from our Git history. And I want you to review our architecture plan to make sure we didn't miss anything for phase 1. So this is kind of like a big review here. So let's see. And I'm going to give it phase 1 right here into this type of thing. And I'm also going to give it the status document at status. And then I'm also going to give it that architecture chaos. So what here I'm doing now is I have a whole new chat window, and this is just going to allow us to like let the agent kind of do its thing here. So it should be able to just quickly use GPT 5.2 in like extra, I think it's extra high in the fast mode. And so this is just going to be, you know, super comprehensive. And the reason why I chose the high one, because that's the one that scored the best in all the benchmarks, you know, out of all of them, next to Opus 4.5. And so we're going to, I think one of the advantages of a model like this is it's supposed to have this extra reasoning capability to try to think through things and try to scan the files. So hopefully that will do us some justice here and kind of pay off some dividends. A lot of people like to use two different models to verify these things. So they'll use Opus to create the code, and then they'll use GPT-5 to go and verify things. Or they'll use Codex to go verify the implementation. And a lot of times you'll find stuff that's pretty much missing. Before I fill out any more context windows, one of the things I want to do is I might want to duplicate this after the fact. I'm going to just duplicate the chat and have it do some research. But guess what? It's already doing research for me on my behalf. It's already using the ref.tools to search for SpacetimeDB. Like you can see the query that's happening right now. It's reading the URL and it's learning more about SpacetimeDB on the GitHub stuff, which is amazing. I was going to tell it. I forgot to tell it, but it already did it for me. That's kind of cool. And I love that it figured that out and it knew about this from my tool set. So here's the thinking. Let's go ahead and review some of the thinking here. Examining project structure. And I think there might be some rules or there might be some things here in my project that already tell it what's kind of going on as far as according to the plan. So here's the SRC. And then here we have the README packages and stuff like that. That's really, really cool. Let me see if I can kind of take care of this here. I forgot I have my streaming do not disturb thing set up. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to compare the happy path. So connect, create, lobby join against the Next.js hooks and stuff. Now that I see the actual code, I'm going to verify one key claim, whether Rust annotations you're using are actually valid for SpacetimeDB 1. So somebody mentioned earlier that because we were using the LLM didn't have a clue about SpacetimeDB 1.0. This is why it's really important to have these two MCPs. I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, you can go and check it out. It's two of my favorite MCPs. One of them is Exa, and the other one is ref.tools. And I teach you how to get those set up with Cursor, with Claude Code, with Opus, with Codex, and then also set up with Droid. If you use any of those types of things, you can watch that video. I'll walk you through step by step, and you can go to the chapters and everything like that. It's all spelled out for you. And so that's currently on my channel. And that's kind of why it's important to do that, especially for a new domain that I don't know, Rust, I don't know game development. We're figuring this out live. So I'm going to do a quick couple of checks for the Rust module to confirm. So it's running some checks to make sure I have them installed. Okay, so here's what we got. What's aligned and what's done. Repo layout matches this. The front end flow exists. Connections here. The phase one gap. This is the big one. Your Rust module does not currently compile against SpacetimeDB 1, which means phase one isn't actually bootstrappable. So I ran the WASM target check and it fails with errors like no SpacetimeDB in the root. Okay, cool. So this is really important. So your current outdated patterns are visible here. So this is actually the older patterns that it wrote the code for us. So says is right to call out needs 1.0 update README plan. So one important plan drift, and that's actually okay, is your phase one plan says reducers should return this and your clients should observe these things. So the status doc overview. Timestamp is stale. It says last updated here. You're operating in 2025. So this is really interesting. So the code, it wrote a timestamp in my actual plans and stuff. And that's how you could tell where the training data is from. It's referencing training data from 2024 for certain types of code. That's really interesting here. And this is kind of why it calls this out. And this is why you always want to use two different models too, because one model like Opus can implement something or GPT-5 can implement something. And this is where we have the mismatch. I actually use GPT-5.2 in the medium reasoning to actually implement this whole thing. And this is why we still have a gap. I'm using 5.2 high fast to verify itself. So it's really interesting. It did the implementation and it's sort of like verifying itself. So that's kind of a little revealing here. So I find that really interesting that it's kind of like, yo, it's calling itself out. So your face should reflect the reality. So that's kind of where we're at here. So the concrete phase one is missing checklist. So must fix here, should truly fix here. If you want, I could implement the Rust v1 migration tables. Let's go into plan mode. And then I'm going to use Opus for planning here. And then I'm going to say, okay, now that we've done an audit for what is missing with phase one, I want to create a new plan so we can make sure we land the plane here for phase one because there's a lot that's missing. Okay, and so I want to give an insight. So far we've used 80,000 tokens to go through this and what I call like a research task here. And what's cool about this is that we've done a comprehensive review using GPT 5.2 and it has all this thinking context in it. So now we're going to hand this off to a really smart model like Opus 4.5. And so this is why you can kind of switch between the two. And in plan mode, hopefully, we should be able to kind of enter this new phase where it's going to tell us like, okay, let's just debug a little bit further here and kind of think through these phases for like specifically planning and try to call out and make this little like micro plan to kind of finish up and tie up all these little features. I love Opus 4.5 for planning. It is phenomenal. And we're basically going to see that type of phase here. So this is complete phase 1. And this is because we missed like the code that was implemented was on an older version. It's part of the reason kind of why I like to do these things here. So yeah, that's what's up. So hey, what's the best model to code out there right now? I think you have to use all the models, to be honest. As we're seeing here, there's gaps in thinking between all of them, depending on what you're doing. And so it's good to kind of verify and double check things, especially using documentation, and get a feel for how they're doing. If you're familiar with a specific type of coding, then you may already know the ins and outs of certain models. So I would always encourage people to play. I love this. I'm building an Eye of the Beholder RPG. That's cool with Godot. And I'm using SpecKit with it too. Oh yeah, SpecKit, that's cool. That's a really cool idea. Yeah, I should check that out too, because somebody's been telling me about that. Somebody on my Discord, his name is Coriolis. He has a whole like crazy build out for like doing stuff like this. And for me, like I want to take this attempt a little bit slower and kind of do this step by step so I can learn a little bit more, because I want to learn a little bit more about how this really works. And I'm giving myself a little window here of like, 12 days. So complete phase 1. Okay, so here we have the migration. So update the table definitions here, and then update reducers. Okay, before, and then here's the after. Okay. So end-to-end validation. Okay, cool. So here's the documentation updates. Okay. Let's see if it used any of the MCPs and stuff like that to call this out. So based on my audit, okay, can you do research with Exa code and ref tools to verify this? I'm going to say not can, do. So I noticed you have to like be confident when you reply. You just like have to be like, don't say can't. You got to say do. Do the thing. Like be extremely explicit, because these models were trained that way, I guess. And they want you to be like very explicit there. So yeah. Cooking. I smell GPT 5.2. Yeah, this is kind of why we're trying these different things here. I think this is kind of how we're can vouch for this. Huge refactors in bitch projects. Models also miss implementation steps. Yes. Don't forget Context 7. It's amazing for expert grounding. Almost every API library. So yes, they've just made a change to Context 7 to help with context. Before, it used to flood the window for me, but I haven't tried it recently. And I saw some tweets from the folks who are building over there, and they said they got they made a bunch of improvements. So for voice to text, I'm using WhisperFlow. So if you check out https://rfr.me/whisper in the YouTube description, I also have that there. That should be able to get you to join. I think you get like some type of promotion or something like that if you just check that out. Also supports the channel, which is super cool, and allows me to hire editors and do that different stuff like there. Yeah, for sure. One tactic I use when using something new while developing Rust here, I asked the model to export the learning. Oh, this is genius. Hitesh, this is a brilliant insight to capture the learning token /nuggets here. This is really cool. I feel like these can turn into blog posts every day, right? Oh, this is okay. I really appreciate this insight. This is super insightful. Thank you so much for saying this. So like go back to the chat and ask the model to just export learning material. So cool. And just kind of create a loading. That's awesome. I've been using 5.2 to review Opus Sonnet with high success. Yeah, that's amazing, man. Dude, I love everyone sharing their techniques here. I think that's super important that we're all kind of doing this. I just like, it's the weekend. We got to start coding. Got working on side hustles and stuff. Yeah, that's what's up. I've researched the current. So I'm just telling it to research again to make sure we have everything grounded here before we move forward, because I had GPT-5 ground itself. So here's the summary. It did confirm those patterns. So additional findings as well. So I'm using Opus, by the way, here in this research task. And it found additional things. So it returns the row directly with this, but not a result. So try insert. And so the reason why sometimes I run the research task again, especially with a different model, is because now it has way more context in the actual call to the model. So cursor will have all the little history. It's going to grab some of the recent like implementation details and send that over to ref tools and Exa code. So when it starts to see those specific functions, then it'll reference those in Exa code and pull those in that we need. And that's why it says like, hey, I think you're missing one more thing here. And that's how we can get just tidy up a little bit more stuff. So here's the lifecycle reducers, and then imports should use these. Okay, so the plan I created is accurate and ready for execution. Would you like me to proceed? Yes. Oh man, we're almost at the end of our context window. Okay. So the plan I created is accurate. So I think I'm just going to open a new chat and hit build. So new chat. And can I just build this? Build plan? So I'm going to use Opus 4.5 to cook with this maybe. I feel like we're going to use Opus. Let's get smart with Opus. Opus 4.5. Can we just build it with Opus? Or should I build it with Chat GPT 5.2? I feel like I'm going to use Opus for this one. Let's go. I'm just burning money right now. I'm burning the GPUs. I want to give a huge shout out to Cursor though. Cursor actually gave me some tokens, like a couple bucks and stuff, to go ahead and check out some of their features. So I think I said this a couple days ago, like I was checking out some of the new features, like with BugBot and some of this other stuff. And I was using that to kind of like give feedback to the team. And so I'm kind of like burning some of that here and kind of experimenting to see like, you know, all these new changes that come out. They do cost a lot of money and stuff like that. And I'm just, you know, super thankful that they were able to even provide that type of thing for us so we can play around live. You know, by the means, it's not like, you know, crazy amounts of money, but like it covers like, I think it's like $40 or something. It's basically 1 month of BugBot. So we got that there as far as like some credits. And so, yeah, we're going to play around with agent review. So the agent review, if you aren't familiar, by the way, the agent review will basically review your code base for the changes that you've already landed. So the way you pull that up is in here in the Git folder, the agent review will find issues locally on your it'll run a model locally. And the model that runs locally, I don't know if it does additional tool calling, but it does cost some money to run. So it'll be like, I think if I look at my history, it's like 20 cents to 50 cents. As the repo grows really large, it can be, you know, much higher. But it's usually been between like under 50 cents. I don't think it's ever been into the dollar range, but it usually depends on your diffs and all this stuff. I imagine this will be much higher because look how many files it has built. And I don't even know if we need to check all these files in, or I don't know how that really works, but yeah, because we're checking these files in. I don't even know if we should be checking these in. I'm going to create a new chat for this. Should we be checking in all these Rust files? And then at gitignore, I think, can I have this at gitignore? I have to git ignore files. Okay, so I'm going to just do the agent thing here as well. So this is currently building itself, but I want to make sure, yeah, this is also kind of, it's reading my gitignore files. So that has 2 of them, and it's kind of reading, I don't know, I just don't like when I see a lot of files being checked in, it's like, I don't know if should be checking these types of things in. So yes, check them in. Your Rust source files should be absolutely checked in. Okay. The root gitignore already ignores target. The 2 gitignore, so you have duplication here. So the kickoff is the basic Next.js template, while your root is comprehensive and already covers everything nested one does, plus Rust patterns. So recommended is to delete the gitignore and only keep 1. So the root gitignore rules apply to all submodules, so you don't need both. Want me to delete? It's fully redundant with the comprehensive gitignore one. Okay, so I guess I'll just delete the one that's in here. So here we are. So we have one in here. Let me just tick off server. Sure. Yes, please. I don't know what I'm going to delete. If I delete my whole hard drive, we'll see. Okay. So the Git repository has too many active changes. Would you like to add node modules to Git? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Why am I seeing this? Why? What? Let's see. This is really curious. I see the issue is actually not at the root. Isn't being used by Git. Yeah. So it deleted the wrong thing. You gotta love this, right? I love coding with AI. I feel so sloppy right now. So dirty, so sloppy. Okay. So we're gonna add this stuff back in, accept please. Okay. Yo dog, I heard you. We're gonna delete one and then we're putting the other one back in, I think. Yeah. This is the one we put back in. Dang. Okay. Wow. This is looking pretty good. Done. I've created the comprehensive one. Okay. So this is where we're at now. Oh, what? We have 1,000 changes? Oh my God, bro. What does it say here? Too many changes were detected. Only the first 10,000 changes will be shown below. You know why? Is because we have the other agent that's building the app right now. So this is the agent that's building everything. Oh my God. Okay, so, wow. So this was our plan. And then it already built it, right? So if we go back here, I'm just going back. Phase 1. Okay, let's go to our chat history. So here is the phase 1 architecture. This is the one where we had to do the audit. So I want you to review phase 1. And so this is the plan that we actually had to like review and do everything here. And then now it actually made the changes. So this is like the build stuff. It did all 5 tasks already. So in the moment that we were checking out that issue, we'd already like made changes to the tables. And so already made the table changes that we needed to do with the new stuff here. It ran the cargo checks as well. That's where we got all those extra files added in because now we checked everything. And then let's go ahead and see what else happened here. So it did a space-time build. So it did run the build. So excellent. The module compiled successfully. Let me mark this complete and verify the next thing. So now we went to our status MD and updated our status files, removed some of the other stuff, updated the progress here. So you see the agent's now already automatically updating the progress, which is really nice. So now we have phase 1 migration complete. So the files that have changed are here. So that basically says it migrated these tables here. Oh, that's awesome. And then here's the key migration changes. Here's the reducers and then the verification that it did. So it passes and it succeeds and they release the module. So now in the terminal to test locally, we just do spacetime start, kick off the app, and then check it out in the terminal, and then we should be good to go. So let me just go ahead and keep all, and then I think we're good, right? So it's over 9,000, bro. Bro, we got so many files. Rebase in your future, for sure. Opus 4.5 isn't that smart after all. We've been slopping the slop. Ray's about to, bro, I don't think, yeah, let's just check in the Git modules, guys. Let's just go ahead and check everything in, bro. Oh my God, bro. I swear, I swear. This is too good. This is so good, actually. So I think our stuff looks legit. Oh, here we go. So it cleaned up the slop. That's because we had our gitignore file that was all messed up. So now we should be able to get everything. The following paths are ignored. Okay. Git. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think we got everything here. So let me just go ahead and generate the commit file. So we refactor the table. So everything looks much cleaner now. So let's go ahead and commit. It's a good thing I didn't check those changes in. So, but also it would be interesting if like this is where the AI agents could get confused themselves. And that's kind of why I like to do this. Could you tell me to also check in the assembly code? Yes. I check in the assembly code, think harder, and then like it's going to do some crazy stuff. Let's get the server started, Ghosty. All right, fam. I think we're ready for this. I don't know if we're ready for this. All right, so this is where we're going to enter the future, ladies and gentlemen. Enter the future. Are you prepared to enter the future? Let's go ahead and see if we can kind of get this going here. I'm going to move this a little bit to the side for a second. So we're going to do, I think it's just going to do this thing here. It says spacetime start. So we're going to do spacetime start. This is where we got this, and then we're going to do cd kickoff chaos. Okay. I think this is where we're at, right? ls, this is where we're at, I think. And then we'll do spacetime publish this. So we should be able to publish it, I hope. Do you want to proceed? Yes. All right, cool. Nice. Sweet. Okay. And then now we actually have the server. Okay, we should be able to run. So we should just do this. Okay. Oh yeah, bun dev this. Sweet. Excellent. So open 3001 and test the create and join view. So we should be able to now test our app out. Yo, we got it. What? This is crazy. So now it's connecting to SpacetimeDB. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay. Error, connection invalid string. So, okay. So I think create a match. Allow mid join, create lobby, invalid version strings. Whoa, this is cool. Awesome. Oh my God, we just like vibe coded our app super fast. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. So phase 1, create join lobby code. Okay, so cool. So I'm gonna tell it this. Okay, error connection error, invalid string. Okay, so I don't see any other errors here. So create warn. Okay, server disabled. Okay, I started everything. Good news. I published it, I think. Let me go back to, wow, this is awesome. So here we are. Let me refresh. So I have Kickoff Chaos. I have no clue what I'm looking at here. And so I have the ID and everything. So there's 3 tables and stuff is in here. And I currently have used some energy. I don't know why, but we'll see. Okay, Kickoff Chaos. Here's the database. So I see the database on the server. Okay. Check F12 for logs on the browser as well. Yeah. What cursor effect is in Ghosty? That is so sweet. Yes. Mike, I'll have to get you that configuration file because I think I looked up like Ghosty cursor fx directory, and then I'll show you real quick. So how to configure it. So I looked up this one. It's called Link Arzru or something. This guy actually posted a whole bunch of them, cursor trail animations. And so in here, in this video, like he walks you through the whole thing. And that's kind of where I got started here. And so he says, get the shader files here. And so this shader files are listed in his public directory. You go to shaders, and then in shaders, I think it's cursor blaze, no trail or something like that, GSL and something else. I'll show you real quick. And then I'm gonna show you how I configure them because you can kind of see from this video, it's pretty fire. Like when you're typing, oh, I want effect demo. How do I get this one? That one's fire. Where is this? Oh, that's Sparkle. Where do I get that? Okay, so public shaders. Okay, so I think in the shaders directory, so Ghosty shaders directory. That's epic. Oh, so I put it config. Okay, here we go. Ghosty. So underscore config Ghosty terminal Ghosty. Let me open up a new terminal window. CD this, I think, ls cd tilde config. I think it's here. CD Ghosty? No, I don't. I thought I had Ghosty. No way. Ghosty shaders? Use a specific theme, Ghosty. I don't think I have Ghosty in my thing, huh? LS LA? Am I tripping? Am I tripping, fam? I thought I had it in here. What the heck? Ghosty shaders. I do. PWD? Huh. What the heck? Oh, it's probably my Ghosty app. Okay. That's probably why. I think it's in here. Let's see. Ghosty app directory Mac. It's like echo something this tilde. Yes, that's where it's at. So it's this. So that's where I put it in mine. So it'll be something like this. This is exactly where it's at. So I do cd this, ls, yeah, cd config. Okay, so what my configuration file is actually within the Ghosty app itself. So this is where I have to go with the library application support. So it's not in the app, it's actually in application support. And then here I have a config file, cd config. And then, oh no, I do mate config. I could do, instead of mate, I'll do cursor config. So if you do cursor config, what that's gonna do is open cursor and then open up to the config file. And so this config file, I know we're sidetracking right now, but this is really important. You have to have your terminal set up in this most elite way so that you can be the top tier vibe coder. If you're not doing this, then your terminal is like not legit. You're gonna like lose your mind right now if you don't get this set up right now. So we're doing this like really important PSA because we're trying to get this set up right here to work like super fire. And if you haven't configured your cursor with Ghosty, number one, go download Ghosty. Number two, like go to the specific configuration file, add these shaders, and you're gonna be like so elite, it's gonna be insane. We want our terminal to be flashy and like be doing cool stuff like that. So like this is where you get these like nerd points to like 1000. Like I want my terminal to be bouncy like that. That is crazy right now. If you're skipping through files, bro, like I swear, like this will make your like IQ points jump by 10 just by having this enabled. I swear. It's on another level. It's on another level. All right, so let's just kind of review real quick because I know I was moving through real fast for those people who want to get started right here. So if you want to get this set up with Ghosty, the config file is actually on your Mac. It's this specific thing. I'm going to put this into the chat right now, so y'all have this on the chats. So in chat, you got to make sure you go to this specific directory right there. TLD library application support, and that's the reverse DNS domain. So com.mitchell ghosty. Once you go in there, there's a config file. And as you can see in the config file itself, in order for you to modify that file, you just type in cursor. Or if you type in VS Code, you can just type in code config. And so that'll open this file. And the file that we have here is actually going to be listed and we can modify and save things. So the theme I have is Xcode Dark. So you can literally copy these commands if you want to, take a screenshot, do whatever you need to do. So to uncomment them, you just remove these little hashes. And so I put the files in shaders. And then the current ones I have enabled is called cursor smear and then cursor blaze no trail. And so if we open up here, there's a shaders folder. And so that shaders folder, if we just do open space, I'm going to drag my Finder window up here. And so let's see if I just do this here. So in my Ghosty config, I go to shaders. Let me go here. So in the shaders files, I have a whole bunch of stuff. I have these shader files here. You know what? I'll probably throw them in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, I'm going to do that right now. And then that way you can get that. So I'll put that into the live stream hangout. That way the folks will have it there. So I'll go to the live stream. Let's see, live stream hangout. So in the live stream hangout, I'm just going to throw these shader files. Hopefully it just lets me drag them straight up. Invalid file type. Oh no. Okay. So I'm just going to zip them up, compress shaders. And then that way the Discord will have them in here. So the shaders. And then I'm going to also put the other shader files here as well. There's like matrix one. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. So let me compress these as well. So then let me just put these in here. And then I think it's at Mike. Are you in here, Mike? Yeah. Okay, cool. And who else? Oh, I'm going to do the hacker shaders too. These ones are a whole bunch of other shaders. Probably similar to the other ones. You can do water. You can go crazy with these shaders. And so once you have these shaders set up in Ghosty, your IQ points automatically 10, automatically plus 10, easy, right? So, okay, here we go. So the way I set them up is I put them in here with some of the names of my favorite ones that I've liked so far, and then you could just uncomment them. So the folder, I just named this folder hacker shaders, and then I just have this enabled. So these are the ones I have so far, and that's where we're able to kind of have these like different things that are going on. So that's how you're able to see this cool little flashy stuff. All right, so let's just go ahead and run our server again. And now we should be having like lead skeets coding. So that's what's up. Is your Discord a good place to have people test your apps? To be honest, there's a bunch of people who are dropping stuff in there. It's like not super crazy active like you probably see other Discords with thousands of people. It's kind of low key, and there's other people who kind of are respectful. Somebody did tell me that other people also DM themselves privately. So like they're not always publishing publicly in the Discord. A lot of really good people in there. So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, fire. Yeah, for sure. I got you, fam. So iTerm 2 is a monster, but it's too much for me and I don't like the UX. Ghosty seems more lightweight, faster, and yeah, Ghosty is really, really awesome. What's better, more accurate than Opus 4.5? Opus 4.5 is probably like the best right now. Dang it, I need to head out right now because I do have an appointment I got to get to at 6:45 at Stanford. So we've made it this far. We've got our terminal set up. We got our code compiling. We got some bugs to fix though. So far what would happen is like we've basically been able to get this server up and running. We got our terminals, like we got our IQ points up by 10 just by participating in this live stream. So we got the Ghosty shaders that are set up here. So you can look them up. We got Kickoff Chaos going. So we still need to debug. We got our stuff deployed onto the cloud. We got like the first phase set up and kind of running, updated with the latest thing. We've been using Opus 4.5 with GPT-5.2 respectively together, checking each other's work inside of Cursor, which has been awesome. And then we've been checking stuff out. We've already deployed this SpacetimeDB up over there. So we have the functions deployed there. We're currently running the web app right now on the front end. And we're going to have like the thing where we have the join code and create matches. So this is where we'll be able to get some of the stuff set up. We're going to have to figure out what specifically is erroring out and why. It's probably literally just putting ID from my actual database in my environment file and then re-kicking this off, because I think it's trying to run this locally and doesn't really figure this out. But that's going to be for tomorrow's stream. So today is Friday, December 12th. We have 12 days to get this done before Christmas, so that on Christmas Day, we'll have a live stream that's literally running. And in the chat, you'll be able to pump in the chat and like control one of the characters as part of the bot experience. And during the live stream, we're going to also be able to, it's going to run for 24 hours. It's going to be a 24-hour soccer match. It's going to be like US versus the world, right? So like, or it could just be California versus everyone else or something like that. Or Ray, you know, whoever knows, whatever it is. But that's what's going on. You're going to be able to scan a QR code and enter as a character. There's only going to be 10 slots. So 10 people can play at a time. As soon as the person jumps out, another character can come in, and we're going to be able to play this live. And then there's going to be one bot character, which is the entire chat window in YouTube Live. So we have a whole plan. Opus 4.5 built out this 2,000 line plan that we have here. It's extremely comprehensive. And this is something that I've been able to build literally through just a chat with Opus here. And it's just amazing the stuff that you can do these days with Opus. And we actually built a whole skill out of this. So the skill to do the prompting like I did to build this massive plan is actually also in my Discord. So if you haven't had a chance to join rfer.me/Discord, it's currently pinned in the YouTube comments. You can go ahead and check that out as well. So that's going to be there. So this is like this massive plan where we have all kinds of stuff going in. I'm really excited that we've even been able to get this far for our plan. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow's day 3, and we're going to be able to kind of proceed this further and fix some more bugs and check out some other things. So hopefully you've been able to learn some stuff, and I'm really excited to check it out for tomorrow, and appreciate y'all to join the Discord, hang out, have some fun with everyone else, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.